fiercely competitive and ruthless society. Misery and triumph.
Gate to Gate.
And now, coming live from Ishimilkin, it's the Rixx Javix Gate to Gate show featuring your host, Rixx Javix.
Thank you very much, and welcome to our first episode here in my captain's quarters. I can't open the door, but that doesn't mean we don't have some great guests lined up for you tonight, so let's undock this thing and get busy. All right, welcome to our show. We don't have a lot of time to waste, so let's get right to it, because this is a pirate broadcast, and eventually Concord is going to find our signal and shut us the hell down. The show's being broadcast right out of one of my captain's quarters, which gives us a very narrow signal window that we can sneak it out across all of New Eden. So we have a great show for you. The Space Pope's going to be along shortly, as well as my good friend Svipul, and he hardly ever shows up or anything. So first of all, let's get to our first viewer question, which comes from Mark Callan, who's a pilot in Lucifer's Hammer. Welcome to the show, Mark. What's your question for me today?
Hello, Rixx. Mark Callan from Lucifer's Hammer. If one of the Solved Null powers came to you and asked you to bring a band apart under their umbrella, how would you respond?
Well, I have to be honest, I would laugh right in their face because, as you well know, Mark, there are no umbrellas in space because it doesn't rain. That's a mutter problem, and I don't ever go down to the surface of a planet anymore. Speaking of surfaces of planets, our good friend Svipul is currently, well, let's let him explain it. Svipul is here. Svipul is at head of GP with 1,000 billion of other capsuleers to witness unveiling of new Citadel station. Svipul has not been aggressed because Svipul has not been nerfed with the bat yet. Svipul is very excited. Citadel was built last night and there should be a coming up over the planet here shortly. Svipul believes that it will be glorious, but Svipul has no idea really. Tensions are mounting, fireworks in the distance. You kinda hear because this is a space. Svipul is waiting. Hold up the phone. It looks like a Citadel is coming up now. Svipul very excited. And there, the easy it. Can you see it, Rixx? Svipul sees it is Matani's head? This makes sense to anyone? This is Svipul reporting live from ahead of GP. Back to you, Rixx. All I know is I am not docking in some dude's head. I don't care how big it is. Well, we are certainly not known for our subtlety here on the show. Speaking of wormholes, our next viewer question comes from Archangel, who is a pilot in Supreme Mathematics.
Hey, Rixx. Thanks for having me on. It's great to be here. I was wondering, what's your favorite region in New Eden? I know you've lived a lot of different places like the Citadel, Hamatar, Verge Vendor, Providence, even a high-sex system. I won't tell anybody.
Well, it sure sounds like no one wants me in their region, doesn't it? The truth is, New Eden is a vast and wonderful place full of adventure and challenges. As for me, I just want to meet as many people as possible, learn their ways, experience different cultures and beliefs, and then explode their ships. Thanks for the question. We need to take a short break to pay the bills around here, and when we come back, Max Singularity will be joining us. It's my distinct honor to welcome our very special guest, Max Singularity. Welcome to the show, Max.
Thanks for having me, Rixx. It's great to be here. May the blessings be.
It's great to have you on the show. Let's get started with something that's been bothering me. People calling you the Space Pope. Why is that?
Well, that's a funny thing because I'm called a Space Pope, and there's actually around 20 titles. Harbinger of Faith, Pope of New Eden, His Holy Presence, Column of Light, Prophet of Storm, Bane of the False Empress, Founder of the Sixth Empire, and probably around 20 some more.
Man, I gotta get me some titles. People just usually run away from me when I enter local.
I did not call myself any one of these names. The citizens of New Eden did this to me.
The citizens of New Eden have done a lot of things to me.
I really had no choice in this. There was a couple titles I didn't accept, but I think what surprised everybody is when they gave me these titles that I ran with it, and I was like, okay, and funny, it's turned out to be a big responsibility too, because what started off as just what I felt was kind of a humorous thing, as it is humorous, but it's also turned very serious. I've actually had some people call and ask for life advice.
But seriously, Max, why did you have the Empress assassinated?
Oh, no, no, not going to put that one on me. I did not kill Jamil Sorum.
Well, of course, but you would say that now, wouldn't you?
I did launch an inquisition about Jamil Sorum, and there's a whole history about that. In YC 105, eyewitnesses saw Jamil Sorum 1 battleship explode, and they saw her capsule explode, and they saw her corpse. Now, this is eyewitnesses, despite what anybody wants to say.
So she was kind of a zombie empress at that point.
When she came back in a very mysterious Abaddon battleship. This battleship had amazing powers of destruction. This was basically the most powerful ship in the entire cluster.
I'd really like to get my hands on that ship. So, Max, are you in cahoots with the Drifter Menace then?
Well, I've been accused of being a Drifter emissary, which I thought was very interesting. Here is the official answer. There is no diplomatic relations between my star diocese, the Sixth Empire, myself, with the Drifter Menace. This does not exist. Now, however, I asked that question to Concord. What is your relationship in an open letter to Concord? What is your relationship to the Drifters? Because they had registered star IDs. They've registered them as a corporation. And the official response from Concord was, that's classified. Our relationship with the Drifters is classified.
Whoa, now, that's rather alarming.
Now, that was alarming to me, too. I also added that into the Inquisition because I was expecting there is no diplomatic relations between Concord and the Drifters, just as I said, there's none with me. So there's something wrong here about that answer that our relationship with the Drifters is classified. Concord is getting a little too powerful. Empires are losing their grasp of control against Concord, and this will not bode well.
Well, nothing Concord does surprises me anymore. They're certainly not a friend of mine either, but what about the Drifters? Are you at all concerned about the Drifter Menace?
Absolutely. The Drifter Menace is an abomination. What we have seen is a little bit of intel here and there. They definitely may be Jovian of origin. However, they're not like any of the Jovians we've met in battle. They have a whole different technology. The reason why they're here could be directly linked to Jamel Sorum going into wormhole space and harvesting sleepers. This is unknown yet. However, there's one thing I do agree with Jamel is that these creatures are abominations. However, she said they're not a threat, and I think she was fatally wrong. I don't plan to make that same fatal mistake.
Well, we are totally on the same page as far as the Drifters go. The Amar trials are going to be coming up here shortly. Are you going to be participating?
Absolutely. Uriam Kador is the heir that I've aligned with for many, many years. I was an admiral in the Kador family fleet, High Admiral. We were forcibly merged into the 7th Fleet under Jamel Sorum. I served a little bit under the 7th Fleet as High Admiral, and then I retired. But Uriam has some far-reaching visions. He is a poet. He is very intellectual. The whole family, the Kadorian family, has a long history of tradition of the Amar Empire and the spiritual beliefs. I do support the unaltered texts of the Khanid kingdom. Between the Khanid's sacred texts, the Kadorian traditions of Amar, practice of Nexum, not slavery, but of Nexum. These are valuable old traditions that need to be brought back into a progressive, new, and modern age. People pick on me that say, well, how can you mix tradition and progression? It's very easy for me to do this because the traditions give us our baseline, our foundation, and the progression allows us to build upon it. This is what keeps the Amar Empire pure.
Well, best of luck at the trials, Max. We will be rooting for you for behind the scenes, and thanks for being on our show tonight.
Well, thank you, Rixx. It's been a pleasure to be here, and thank you for allowing me to pontificate. I don't smile ever. However, you almost got a little bit of the humor out of me when you ask me about my titles. It almost makes me smile with a little bit of humor.
Thanks to all of our guests tonight. For our final segment, I'm going to be bare-knuckle fighting next.